G'day everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have some major Bitcoin news and some billionaires showing their interest in acquiring a vast amount of it, and some other Bitcoin news as well. Before I begin, none of this is legal, tax and or financial advice. Please always do your own research before investing. So the first story here by CCN. The appetite among billionaires for Bitcoin is huge as ever. According to Elisa Dadian, an art dealer and head of a secretive network for billionaire investors called the Dadiani Syndicate in Forbes. The company has reportedly been instructed to purchase a jaw-dropping 25% of all available Bitcoin in the market. Too bad that isn't likely to happen. And there's a tweet there from Crypto's Experience. The crypto community loves to talk about these colossal bag holders, as a great deal of the most significant trading is done in the shadows. The peer-to-peer exchange was allegedly instructed to scour the markets and gain access to as close to 25% as possible. Interestingly, Elisa Dadiani is a member of the Georgian nobility. Okay, fascinating. Such a bold claim begs the question if it would even be possible to acquire that much Bitcoin. Dadiani says her firm can't accumulate that much Bitcoin, but they're acquiring as much as possible. eToro senior analyst Matty Greenspan believes that there is only around 5 million circulating in the entire market, largely due to hodling. He is quoted in Forbes as saying, "Many Bitcoin will not be mined for a long time and many more are lost for good. Yet even a greater number of coins are currently being held by hodlers who will not be willing to part with them for any price. Realistically speaking, there are probably less than 5 million coins actually circulating at the moment." He adds, "A buyer of this size is going to push the price up to make this kind of accumulation even more expensive. There are ways to offset that kind of demand-based price increase, but after a certain level, there's not much you can do to prevent it." End quote. To summarize some key points, it says altcoins are not as well valued by the elite as opposed to Bitcoin, and then touches on various uses of the top or the original cryptocurrency there. What are your thoughts on this? My opinion is that they'll be buying over the counter. I don't know how many they could purchase over the counter at once. Would be a process over several weeks or months. The concern people have is vast swathes of Bitcoin are being purchased over the counter, and then they flood an exchange. That would have reverberations throughout the space in terms of prices. That would cause the prices to just go even more volatile than what they've been already. We've seen in the past, we have double-digit decreases and increases because of someone that has flooded the market with any coin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, XRP, you've got huge amounts being transferred. And I guess that's a concern, especially for retail investors. Just my opinion, not financial advice. It's highly advised to not invest more than you're willing to lose, because this is a very dynamic space. Things can change in an instant. So you need to mentally prepare yourself. I'll leave it at that. Let's go on to the next article. But actually, before I do, if you have your input, by all means, you're more than welcome to comment. And I always look forward to people's opinions about this. The next topic here about mining, and this was written earlier today on NullTX. These are very interesting times for Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies on the market. When looking beyond the wild and somewhat entertaining price swings, it seems another statistic is worth paying attention to. The Bitcoin mining difficulty has reached a new all-time high following a major 11.26% increase, an intriguing turn of events which can have several different consequences. For those who are unfamiliar with how Bitcoin mining really works, the overall hash rate determines whether or not the mining difficulty will rise or drop every 2 weeks. And as a side note, if you're wondering what on earth that is, so a simple way to look at the hash rate, it is the rate at which how fast a computer can do these calculations to then be able to obtain a Bitcoin block successfully. The more powerful the computer, higher the hash rate, the quicker you can then obtain Bitcoin, or try and get the block and then move on to the next block. With fewer miners and a lower hash rate, the difficulty will tend to drop. Such a big drop occurred in late 2018 as the Bitcoin mining difficulty decreased by about 17, 15 and 9.5% in 3 consecutive changes. A bit of an unusual development, but it is expected at times. So this goes on. So it goes into more detail about the hash rate there. For those who don't know what mempool size is, in simple terms, it refers to the number of the unconfirmed or pending transactions on the network that then need to be approved by a miner. Overnight, the number of pending transactions spiked to over 25 million for a little while, and then dropped back down to normal levels there. So it goes into more technical details. I'll let you read through the article, and then there are these external links as well that give you some more info. On this note, just to wrap up with this article, it refers to the transaction fees, which are often quoted. They're still very high in the network. Despite there being a drop, over the years, it's still just not viable. A couple of things they didn't mention in this article that surprised me. One, not much reference to the speed, how we know Bitcoin is still very slow and quite clunky in the network. Let's go back to the top. And two, there was no mention of the Bitcoin reward halving for those who haven't followed it. So every 4 years, the reward you get for mining a block of Bitcoin gets halved. So the first halving occurred in 2012. It went down from 50 to 25 blocks. Subsequently, in 2016, it went from 25 to 12.5, and then next year, in just under a year, it will drop to 6.25 Bitcoin per block. To make it viable for the miners, they'll then need the prices to increase, or what's going to happen is you're going to have the huge mining pools, many of which are found in China, that can compete to mine it at a viable cost, especially if the prices were to dip. However, it's anticipated that with this demand and the institutional investors coming into the space, that it is, and technological improvements on top of that, it's likely that the prices will increase, and therefore it will still be practical to mine Bitcoin despite this halving. So there's the Bitcoin block reward halving there. There's information about the Litecoin block reward halving countdown as well, which is only 2 months away, and that will be Litecoin's second halving as opposed to Bitcoin's, which will be the third next year. So keep an eye out for Litecoin in the next month or two, and then Bitcoin, I guess, moving forward in general, but especially in the next 12 months. There's a useful video that I recommend you check out because it gives a very neat summary and a good clear explanation of how these halving events work. Final article for today, Coinbase is in the news. Asif Hirchi, pardon my pronunciation, President and Chief Operating Officer at Coinbase, is the second high-profile departure at the crypto exchange this month in May. Hirchi's departure is the latest in a string of executive-level officers to leave Coinbase in 2019. He follows hot on the heels of CTO officer Balaji Srinivasan, who left at the start of the month, and former head of institutions Dan Romero. Hirchi and Coinbase linked up after he left VC firm Andreessen Horowitz in 2017 after working with exclusive clients as an operating advisor. And he tweets, so it looks like he's left quite a legacy there. It appears from his recent tweet that he leaves Coinbase on good terms. And it looks like he'll be missed by some of his former colleagues as well. Various tweets by members of the Coinbase team showing support to him as he moves on to the next chapter in his life. The continued departures are a notable shift for the exchange, which in 2018 trebled staff numbers to around 800. It's a sign that despite a positive shift in market sentiment, the bear market still has teeth, with companies streamlining their operations in order to save money. Last month, the company let 30 engineers go as it shut down its Chicago office just after 11 months as it admitted defeat in its attempt to build a high-speed, institutional-grade matching engine, in inverted commas, a system that brings together buy and sell orders. And the rest of the article questions, is Coinbase still relevant as one of the major players in the space? And talks about Binance and its rise it's had. My personal opinions, I've mostly used Binance and Coinbase over the past couple of years in crypto. I have seen, from my experience, Coinbase's customer service has improved, but the fees, I still prefer Binance. One, it offers many more coins. Two, fees tend to be a bit lower. And three, Binance has also picked up on its customer support, and then throwing in the SFAU insurance helps a lot as well to make it more appealing. And then so all of that, the customer service aspect and the availability of coins and user friendliness, this is concerning when you have two huge figures in this company going. And just in case you're wondering, that is the CEO and the co-founder of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, on the right there. Let's see what happens. I wish them all the best. I just want to see crypto exchanges all striving to improve, offer more coins, good customer service, encouraging more people into the space, and having a robust security system, ideally, and I want to bring this up in a future video, but all the major crypto exchanges offering some insurance to its clients, Just for the convenience and the peace of mind. I know there are the regulations involved in all of that and the paperwork and processes, so on and so forth. We need to make it easier for people to get into the market. We need to improve the range of cryptos that are being offered there. Let's see what happens there. Let's wrap up with the coin prices for today. Despite the drop that occurred over the past day or two, the market has gone back up again. EOS is the standout here. I have to take my hat off to EOS. It's really bounced back this year. It was, I think, exactly a year ago that EOS launched its new blockchain. It used to be part of the Ethereum blockchain, so it was an ERC20 token. I want to draw your attention to the prices, especially if you look at what happened here. So this price here, and it was near the all-time high there. Well, firstly, this corresponded to the insane crypto bull market that we had. Then, in the lead up to its launch, or the launch happened there, but nevertheless, the prices were still very buoyant. Huge drop. It went down to $1.80. Right about there, yeah. So it has shot back up again. It's gone up nearly 5 times this year based on the lowest point it was at. And hopefully, get back to the all-time high soon. I personally think, again, not financial advice, but EOS has a huge amount of potential behind it. I've actually made a video about EOS price predictions and reflecting on various people's thoughts in the space on that, and I'll provide a link to that as well whilst we're here. But let's go back to the prices in general. Green overall, Tron's really taken off over the past 24 hours as well. Ethereum Classic, don't know why that's up. Neo, still kicking along there. VeChain is good. Let's go down to Amise Go's showing some good signs too. Another crypto to keep an eye out for, in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much a summary of the prices there for today. What are your thoughts on the information provided in this video? If you want to give your thoughts or just say g'day, we'll leave a comment as well. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest content. Hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss out on a single video I make. And share this with anyone who you believe will benefit from this or may have an interest in this news. Thank you again. That's a wrap. For many people, the weekend's coming up, or if you're here in Australia, it's already the weekend, Saturday evenings here. And I hope you're all having a wonderful time. Happy summer to everyone in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the first day of summer. I hope you get outside, enjoy the sunshine. If you're near the beach, head to the beach as well. Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I'll speak to you soon. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. See you later.